Slacking?
The mic is slacking. Give me just a second.
So the whole time we haven't been talking. Even asked Brian if it was in yet.
Hey.
Okay, now we're on. Sorry about that, everyone. That's on me.
It's okay. Everything that we just were talking about, well, it's
It didn't
fine.
need
You
to be
didn't
there
listen.
anyway.
It didn't need to be on the show.
We're Pints and Pistons with extra mic!
So as I was saying, it's Mike and Mike. We got three mics right here. Yeah. So how's it going?
It's going good.
Yeah. You've been working like crazy on that gasser.
Yes. Yeah. Floors are done inside. Trunk floor is in mostly. Got to make the extensions that go out to the quarter panels. Taillight panel is finally on. 8 years later, I can actually fit taillights into the car.
Awesome.
Started putting the trunk on. But it's definitely been...
Coming together.
It's been a ride. It's been an adventure with this car.
Yeah.
When I bought this car, almost 9 years ago, September will be 9 years. The car should have just been left where it was. It was 25 years plus sitting in a field. So you can imagine just how bad it really was. And I have never delved this deep into a car before in my entire life. But over these 8.5, almost 9 years, whatever you want to call it, gotten better tools and
more skill, more experience.
So, but sorry, GERD. Yeah. So we've been after all these years, we've only gotten better tools and like I said, better skills and all. But a lot of kicking and screaming and crying and cursing
I
and
understand that.
threats,
Bloody fingers. Yep.
You have to make a blood sacrifice.
You have
Yes.
to.
Definitely.
Okay, I'm gonna go grab the first beer.
But one day, there will be an engine in it and
Yes.
a transmission.
I'm hoping here in the next week or two to get the engine up to the machine shop, let them start on it. They're gonna have it for a little bit because they're backed up at our machine shop in Chiefland, and once you get that back, then it'll be put it together and hopefully get it in the car.
That's one of the crazy things is if you call around, if you're like, yeah, I'm building a race engine, I need to find a machine shop. Hope you don't need that engine for the next, year. Because you start calling around and be like, yeah, I need this block fully machined and bored and honed and everything. They're like, yeah, drop it off. We'll have it to you next April.
Well, that's the thing is there's not a lot of machine shops around anymore.
Exactly. There's very few
Are you sure
race
it's the
and
one with the
precision
toilet
machine
in
shops.
You sure it's the one with the toilet in it?
I hope so.
Okay. Last I checked, it was.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's only one in the house.
That's what I say. He's like, which toilet? I'm like, it's the only one with toilet in it. Otherwise, you're peeing in my bed, and only I'm allowed to do that. I didn't grab the beer.
Smooth move, X-Lax.
Idiot. He's special.
He is.
He rides the short bus for more than one reason.
Well, it's the one that fits him.
Have you seen that little septic place on 41? The
Yes, they got little.
little bus?
So they've got the VW poo emoji car, and now they also have a K van that's got like a little fixture on the back of it to make it look like a miniature school bus.
Nice.
You're splitting,
It's
right?
yellow and
Yeah.
everything.
Okay, so 4 will be
Yeah.
for that. Alright. One.
Single in Havana.
Is this Twist Top or Alien beer?
Alien.
Alien
beer.
Hold on. Yep, I was gonna say we got it somewhere.
Single.
Sorry, guys.
What's wrong?
Brian bumped the cable.
Good going, Brian.
Not his fault.
Can't take you nowhere.
I know.
Brian, you want to pass down the bottle opener?
There we go. I got it back.
Single in Havana sounds like it could be a very scary time.
Perfect.
Barrel of Monks Brewing.
Barrel of Monks Brewing.
Hey, Chris, you want to split or are you ready?
I already split with somebody.
Oh, okay.
I'll split with you if you
Oh,
want.
no, it's no big deal.
Sure?
I didn't know he split with somebody already.
Blonde ale with guava.
Yes.
Wait, guava. That sounds like a good time.
Got a read in there.
Yeah, I didn't bring my readers. I can't read that.
I got it.
He always has his readers on.
The quintessential ale for a tropical climate. Single in Havana marries a clean and crisp blonde ale with pink guava. Goodness, brimming with tropical fruit, but dry and refreshing at the same time.
Well, we're not
this
really
is from Barrel of Monks Brewing, and they are down in Boca Raton, Florida.
We've
not
had
bad.
something from Barrel of Monks.
We have not had this one though.
and we're not really in the tropical
Well,
climate
yeah,
right
but
now.
no, like I
I
don't
wasn't
remember
expecting. Yeah,
what one. Excuse me, what one it was, but I remember we had something from it, and it was really good.
Slancha
Slancha.
Slood
Yeah.
can pie.
Happy last day being 31.
Ooh,
You'll be okay.
Oh
That's pretty
wow.
yummy.
Oh wow.
that's got some fruity.
I like it.
That is good. There's definitely mango in there.
Definitely
There's a lot
guava.
more guava going
Oh
on.
yeah,
Dry and it's very tart. I like that.
Yes, I do.
that is good. Wow. Okay.
It's very smooth.
Yeah.
Almost a bit of coconut, like on the back finish.
Now I want tacos.
On the back of the tongue.
Yeah, I would go
Almost
good with
with
tacos.
Yeah, now I want tacos.
Yeah.
Shrimp tacos. those shrimp tacos that Pine Tree had for the little while.
Yes,
This would go amazing with that.
absolutely.
Pretty tasty.
Oh.
I like it.
Oh.
I like it.
Oh.
Yeah,
No,
this is-
wow, wow.
That's
this
a
is
good,
good.
one.
Yeah.
That
I
is
was
a
not
good
expecting. Like I said, I bought this 2 weeks
One. Where
ago.
did you get this one at?
Total Wine,
Okay.
Where's
Yeah.
that Total Wine around here?
Gainesville.
Oh.
Gainesville is the closest one. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
There's
I'm
not,
not-
one in Ocala, and there's not one in Spring Hill.
No,
No.
I think the other one
I mean,
is
Tampa, isn't it?
it's almost the Lutz
Clearwater.
area.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the Lutz area because it's just outside of Wesley Chapel. So
Yeah.
it's
Pretty much, yeah, it's
basically
at-
from here to there. It's
Yeah,
just
basically,
like
it
the
is
same
Wesley. It
distance.
is Leslie Chapel.
Yeah.
It's literally the shopping center right behind Ford's garage.
Yeah, but it's
Oh,
one
okay.
of those. It's the same distance of going from here to Gainesville to here to there. It's what part of 75? Do you want to take 75 or do you want to take the back roads?
Yeah, basically, it's 41 all the way down.
Yeah. Otherwise, you just go pop on.
Yeah.
75 by. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the Gainesville drive is actually a little
Yeah.
bit easier.
Yeah.
As,
Yeah.
as much as I, kind of get tired of that drive, but it is a little bit easier than going down to Wesley Chapel for
Exactly.
just a beer run.
Yeah.
So cars.
Yeah.
Cars.
So, transmission is out of the 86. It is
Yes.
sitting in my garage. Thank you,
Yes.
Chris, for the help with that.
No problem.
I hurt myself like crazy with that.
Both of my shoulder blades were bruised the next day.
So,
It was
yeah.
tender and
so
sore.
I was actually had like road rash on my arm all the way down my back because I had that cutoff shirt on and it kept on moving, and then also with the amount of pollen that was on the driveway, I was serious. I had to
Oof.
take Benadryl even after a shower. I was like, you asked Sabrina, like she's like, we might need to take you. I'm like, no, see how it is in the
Remind
morning.
me
But I
when
was
we do it again. I have a rug we can roll out and scoot under there.
okay. Yeah, I'll or something.
So why is the transmission out?
well,
What we do?
Well, I didn't do anything.
He drove it.
December, we went on a little cruise. We went from Applebee's right here, and well, you know the route that we took.
Yeah, we went from Applebee's down to 476, and then went all the way across 41, and went over to C39, came north.
Except I missed the one.
Yeah,
spot.
he missed the one.
I
turn.
ended up at the National Cemetery, and I'm like, I think I missed a turn. They're like, yeah, you did.
Probably a bunch. Yeah, and then Istachata all the way up, back to 48 in Floral City, and then did Trails End and Goblin
Okay.
Drive and Old Floral City Road, and then 44 East and Gospel Island back into town.
So, it was at the one point where I missed a turn, and I'm like, because at this point they were all going, and I was in the 86, and I'm like, okay, like 60, 65 is its happy spot. I can go faster, but also I'm not diving into corners with the stock suspension, stock brakes, and the 65 that it's doing is actually it is happy. It's at 2100 RPMs. It's nice. I got the windows down. I got my tape in the take deck. I'll beat you guys at the restaurant when we get there.
Yeah.
I'm having a great time. Everybody go around me, fine. So I'm like, oh, I missed a turn, so go around after I called him. I'm like, I think I missed a turn. He's like, yeah, no, go back this way. I'm like, okay. So I go to the VFW. I turn around. I finally get on the Itch of Chatter. And I'm going down the Itch of Chatter. And I'm like, I start hearing a noise. I'm like, shit. I'm like, are my brakes? I'm like, fuck. Like, it sounded like brakes dragging. I'm like, shit. Brakes dragging again. And I'm like, this is gonna suck. And so, like, I'm slowing. And I literally got half my body out the window. And I'm pressing brakes. I'm like, it's not that. I'm like, but
the impressive part is that half his body out the window, he can still touch the brake.
Yeah, but I'm like, something's rubbing. It is a rotational sound.
Right.
I'm like, I can't tell what it is. I'm like, all the tires are still good. I'm like, it's not that. Like, this is a metal friction sound. And I'm like, okay, revving it up. I'm like, it's not like in neutral, so it's nothing motor.
Right.
It's not like something there. I'm like, shit, there's something in transmission. And I was still able to shift, but I kept it in third gear and was like, keep it there. Went
And
through
then
stop signs and that. There was no one there. I was like, I'm not stopping. We're keeping going. But it kept on getting louder and louder louder.
And then, but
it got to the point where it started squealing. And I'm like, just
panic phone calls at that point.
And I'm like, this is where I'm at. I'm like, I am just heading home. I'm coming through the back part of Floral City. I'm like, I am just heading home. I'm like, but I just want to let you know because you might get another phone call here soon. I'm like, I am trying to get as close to home as I can because the closer I am to home, the cheaper the tow bill will be.
Right.
And if I'm close enough, then I can have a buddy come flat tow me
Yeah.
to the house. I'm like, but at this point where I'm at, it's going to be a $200 and something tow bill. Every little like yard I do, I'm watching the dollar sign go down and down.
Sure,
like,
sure.
I might be doing more damage to the car, but like
The damage is done. Just keep going.
It's already broke.
And so I'm like, oh god. So I was able to get home, and
Sabrina came back to the house, picked him
picked
up,
me
brought him to lunch.
We went to lunch and that, and so afterwards, him and Two Leg came over and started up the car, and it's one of those. It's like you can press the clutch, and like the sound doesn't go away. So
Right. So it wasn't like a bearing.
I'm hoping it's either the pilot bearing or throw bearing that something.
Or, like I said, that clutch has had a short life, but it's not had an easy life. It's gone. It's done a lot of burnouts.
That clutch is only, well, it's 10 years old, but it only has about 1,800 miles on it. But
1,200 of those miles were
Have
burnouts.
Burnouts.
So and we think something's knocking in there, and I'm thinking that it might have broken the damper springs in the clutch plate.
Or
I mean,
even the fourth, the fingers.
Yeah.
Something.
It might be one of the springs. I'm thinking it's one of the
I'm
springs.
hoping so. I got a new McLeod sitting in the garage.
Good.
And I'm not dealing with the flywheel. As I said, yes, it's 10 years old, but it only has
1,800 miles on it,
Yeah,
and 1,200 miles of
What was
burnouts.
that?
You hear that too?
Yeah.
Somebody revving a motorcycle.
well. Also,
Someone just
there's
banging
a
off the rev
Also,
limiter.
the tractor pull and truck pulls going on at the
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
fairground. But it's one of those. I'm like, I'm not doing the flywheel. Like, it's one of those. It shouldn't need to be fully resurfaced.
Unless there's some really, really, really bad hot spots
Yeah.
and checking in it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if we need to do anything, I'm taking the angle grinder and the stuff
Right.
pad onto it. There
Right.
we go. Look at that. We resurfaced it. Like, yay!
Hey, I've done that before and gotten away with it.
Yeah.
Like, and so I'm not concerned about it. But so that's what happened. So,
But when we were getting the transmission out, we had some weather roll in. Looked like it was going to be a nasty thunderstorm.
Which I gotta say,
turned out to be nothing. It just got cold.
last Thursday.
Right.
And so we started at 3. Well, y'all got here at 3.
Yeah.
And so probably about 3:20 we started. I gotta say, like it surprisingly didn't take as long as I thought. I thought we were gonna have to fight more.
No.
But the only thing that fought us was just the 4 bolts of the transmission holding onto the bell housing. So when Two Legs took it out the first time, he took it out with the bell housing
Right, the whole
and that
assembly.
on there. We're like, well,
We don't have
also
the room-
he's underneath because he's got the bay, he's got
Yeah,
everything
and-
underneath there. I'm like, no, we're on our backs. We are separating that from the bell housing because at that point,
We don't really have the room.
Also, it's an extra 50 pounds less
Yeah.
that we got to bench press.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, because we're on our back, like, that's 50 pounds. 50 pounds is 50 pounds.
Yes.
So,
Yep.
that, I don't think has been
But also,
separated.
his jack doesn't lift super high, so
Right.
there's limited
So,
room between the car and the
I
ground.
had my other one, my Good Wrench one, but I gave that one to Jason, and then I had my 1.5 ton Harbor Freight one to Low Pro. That when I got the Focus, it worked perfect for that because the Focus was super
So
low.
low, yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
you lift that car up, like you lift the front wheel up, the back wheel's coming up off the ground because
Yeah.
it was so stiff.
Because it wasn't a Fox body.
The Fox body, you lift the front end up where the front tire's off the ground, the back tires are all like, yeah, we ain't moving, and don't open up the door because he ain't going to close it in a week.
Yeah,
Like, it's bendy.
So yeah, when we do start on it again, I'll bring my larger jack over. We'll get the car up higher and probably put it in with the bell housing and everything attached.
But it's so we got that in 2.5, 3 hours.
Yeah.
Got it out. The only thing that was fighting, and it was the one part where I realized I didn't have enough ass behind me because I felt bad because I'm like, Chris, like I'm underneath there and I'm going. They were talking. And I'm like, I can't get
this
like,
one.
Sorry, I'm like, Chris, I can't. I'm like, I feel bad, but I can't. He's like, okay. I'm like, I am literally lifting myself
And
off
I
the
got
ground.
over there.
am-
I found this jank piece of metal, and I was able to make a makeshift breaker bar. And I'm like, all right, here we go.
Yeah. Well, it got to the point.
Snap, and it broke loose. And
Well,
they're like,
that's-
"Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, it
Well,
broke
no,
loose."
the snap that it made.
Something broke.
Well,
Yeah.
Like, that's
but
what it sounded
also
like.
echoed through the car and that.
Right.
And it was one of those. Chris went, either I broke the ratchet or the bolt's loose. And we're like, which one is it? He's like, I don't know yet. I'm like,
When it
oh
snapped,
god.
I mean, they just let go all at once. I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know if I just broke your ratchet or it came loose. We'll find out in a second.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
loose.
here,
All right,
I didn't
we're good.
turn on the chat.
Oh,
Shoot, yeah, right
the
there.
chat.
No, other one.
Good old USA made Craftsman ratchets.
I was gonna say that's my old school one. I've had that. I've had those ones. That was still when Sears was coming in. I was 12 years old when I got that full set, and that my dad was trying to make me live with him. So he was like, "I'm gonna buy all these tools." I'm like, "Okay, I'm still living with mom," but I got actual Craftsman stuff
got
made in
tools.
USA.
All right, there you go.
And I still have that whole entire kit that I use.
Yeah.
It was the 400 piece mechanic set. I'm like, what the fuck do I need this at 12? But hey, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Listen,
they
as a
work.
professional mechanic, as a full-on master tech working in a dealership, all of my sockets are still Crafts.
Everybody's like, I can't believe you still use them on
I
your
bought
on
that
your,
set, and that's what I
on
have.
your Impact, and I'm like, yeah, well, you're using chroma. I'm like, I don't care. Like, dude, they're Craftsman's. Like, they're
Yeah.
good. They're old. Like, I have never
The
had
real
an-
old Craftsman, the ones that are actually made in the USA, those are strong.
Oh, yeah.
And even the chrome ones will break loose.
Oh yeah, no,
No, break
it's
shut loose.
but also
I just found
mine
out with
is-
impacts, the impact sockets are usually heavier and
Right.
transfers
that's
more
what it is,
transfers
yeah.
more
Exactly.
energy into the fast
Of
Yeah,
course,
gas.
yeah. But no, so we got that out, and it's sitting in the garage, and then I was so bruised up. I had 2 bruises from my hip all the way down to about here. I ended up rolling over on something, I realized, and then I had a giant knot on the back of my head from where I came down and hit one of the sockets right there.
Yeah.
That I didn't realize there. I'm like, that's not gonna
Yeah.
do anything. Yeah, no, it did something.
Yeah, bruises are fun.
So for the next couple days at work, they're like, "Oh, well, it's still kind of warm out. You got your hair down," because I normally only wear my hair down
Yeah.
at work if it's like cold, because otherwise I'm sweating like crazy. I'm like, "Why you got that?" I'm like, "I can't lift my arms past here." I'm like, "I could not put my hair into a ponytail." I'm like, "I'm good. I'm hot right now." But I will deal with that because I'm also in so much pain.
Yeah, I was hobbling
I
around
had-
a little bit. the
I had a
next day.
couple people who were like, "Man, like if you were that hungover, why didn't you like call?" I'm like, I am not hungover. I just can't tie my shoes right now. I'm like, I'm sore.
You
I
use muscles
lit-
you had never used.
my shoe came untied during one of the lunch. It was during first grade lunch, and I literally had to lift up my foot, put it on the bench, and I had to have one of the kids. I'm like, "Can you tie my shoe?" Like, practice. Come on,
There you
show
go.
me how you can tie
There
your
you go.
shoe. I'm like, "Thanks, bud. Okay, can you do the other one?" "Oh, dude, awesome. You learned it. Yeah, sweet." Because I couldn't tie my shoe. I couldn't bend down. I'm like, well, I'm either gonna trip or something. And I'm like, "Oh, I'll have one of the kids do it."
Don't
Yeah.
feel bad. My hair's down all the time.
No. In your heart, it is. In your heart. In your heart is blowing in the wind.
Oh, he's talking about his beard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, so I don't think we cut ourselves on the car. I know I didn't break blood.
I did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
It's
Oh.
almost healed up now, but I scraped my thumb on the ground when I was ratcheting
okay.
down.
So
That's all.
a blood sacrifice was made.
Yeah.
So
We
It'll
always
work.
have to.
It's required to do that.
Well,
Yeah.
but this whole thing started because of Brian. Because right before we got into the cars to go pull away, everybody's starting up their cars. Brian's like, it's good to see the car out. It's been doing so good. He pat his fender. He's like, you've been doing really good. And I'm like,
Oh, jinxed it. Just fucking
no.
jinxed it.
That
Like,
was me.
I didn't even get into the. I'm like, are you kidding me?
They were getting mad at me when we were working on it because like when the bolt broke loose, he's like, "Did you get it?" Yeah, of course I got it. It's a machine. I'm not scared of it. You're like, "Hey, careful now. This is the 8.6. It's a machine. I'm not afraid of it. I am a professional mechanic. This doesn't defeat me."
Until randomly the rear end just falls on your face.
And then I will fix it.
And that's the thing. Like, you can fix it. Just that car, she really is my Christine. It is one of those that
It's a Ford with a faulty smugometer.
it will just it will just look at you and be like, I'm running so good. Guess what I'm gonna do?
Break.
Here you go. What is it? I don't know. Try to find me.
I read a post a long time ago on a forum one time talking about Fords and their smugometer. There's a sensor in there that detects that you're happy with how it's running.
And
Right.
it goes, I'm
and it
gonna break
breaks
now.
something.
Well, it's like all those years ago when it came down to being the map sensor.
Yeah.
I literally maxed out my credit card that day. And we started at like 8 o'clock in the morning. It was to the point where O'Reilly's was about to close at 9 o'clock at night.
Had to send
And it
Sabrina.
was the girls were just running back and forth. I'm like, just go. And we're replacing. We did the throttle body position sensor, the idle air control, a whole bunch of gaskets, O2 sensors.
Drain the tank. Change the filter.
Wow.
Like-
yeah,
like, we
drained
went
all
all
the-
out, like,
everything,
we're
blew
s-
out the lines, new like so much fucking.
In
shit.
all fairness, most of the shit we changed needed to be changed.
yeah,
And the
but-
fuel came out looking like someone had mixed Captain Morgan and Mountain Dew and let it sit for a week.
Nice. How old was the gas?
It was racetrack gas that, like I said, looked like a combination of Mountain Dew and Captain Morgan.
Probably at that point was probably 4 years old.
And it was racetrack gas.
Yeah.
Poured it on the driveway, and it was hard. It was as hard
It
to
would
light
not
off.
light.
It was like trying to light off kerosene with a cigarette
So I
lighter.
say usually gas that's like 15, 20 years old will light off still.
No,
No,
this did
you
not.
know.
This stuff was
Yeah.
this stuff was like trying to light
The-
off kerosene.
The
Nice.
mark is still at the end of the driveway.
Like it-
of
it
It's
like when
stained the driveway.
Well, no, when we lit it on fire, it
It's
looked
sooted.
like we were. It looked like we were burning just straight plastic. Like
Like
this-
it-
Like,
like-
thick,
like-
sooty black
yeah.
plate.
It was
Yeah.
just sooty black smoke,
Smoke.
like it was
Yeah.
just chooching on the driveway, and when it finally burned off, it left black.
Mark,
Well,
that
wow.
even pressure washing I can't get off.
Well,
But we spent that entire day. Sorry, man.
No, you're fine.
Spent that entire day just chasing and like it would slowly get better, and like it was Brian, it was Two Legs, you had Heckman over here, like we had like all
The brain trust.
yeah, like Jason Newcomb was over here. Like we had like everybody throwing their brains at this. Like, okay, well I'm looking at it this way. I'm looking at it this way. Like, so it wasn't just like one of us like, well, it should be this. Like we're looking at all angles.
It wasn't like we just blindly fired the parts cannon at it.
It
Right,
was.
yeah.
It was.
I looked.
we
I
were-
mean, it ended up. You know, his credit card bill looked like the parts cannon went off.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
we weren't
It
just
did,
randomly throwing
but-
the parts cannon.
and then it came down to it was about 8:30 at night, and CJ was over here, and his dad was what 35 years assembly line.
No,
maybe?
35 years Master Tech.
Yeah, for Ford. And so he's like, hey, what about this? And they ended up being in town, like, having dinner. He's like, oh, we're leaving out. I'll just send me the address. I'll swing by. So he was over here in, like, 5 minutes. He gets out of the car, and he had Dad's car. And that,
Yeah.
so he bought his dad's 98. And he gets out of the car. He's like, okay, go to start it up. And I go, the car didn't even start. It goes, shoot. He's like, shut it off. Map sensor, gets back in the car and drives off. And I'm like,
Just like that. Just like that.
and so I'm like, Sabrina, we got 20 minutes. Go to O'Reilly's. By that
We
time,
literally yanked the old one off the firewall and said, "Get one of these."
yeah. And,
Nice.
And they came back. We swapped it out. Car ran fucking perfect. So what had happened was one of the because it had the 3 prongs. One of the prongs was supposed to be at 12 volts constant. It was only at 3.5 constant, and that one spot right there.
It was corrosion got in there. And corrosion killed it.
Yeah.
That caused it.
Wow.
Didn't even think about it.
But it was the original end of the car.
Yeah, for me. But
Not anymore.
Didn't
Not
even
anymore.
think about because we took the stuff off of it and everything looked fine.
Yeah, well,
It was
Yeah, we were
but that was-
like we were pulling
we did
we were
coil,
pulling
we did
connectors.
cap and rotor and plugs and wires and
Like
everything.
we were going through and pulling every connector and looking for corrosion, but it
We
like I
couldn't
said
see
it was
down in
corrosion inside the deal. So
wow.
She's a bitch.
she is.
She is a bitch.
That just reminds me of the time I got a phone call when Devin still worked down at Wesley Chapel Kia. I got a phone call one time while I'm in Savannah. And he's sitting there and he's like, hey, I've got you on speakerphone, I've got my manager, and I've got my shop foreman in here. And I need you to do me a favor. I'm not going to let any of them talk. I'm just going to tell you what this car is doing. Tell me what you think it needs. And he goes, so what happens is you'll set the AC, and it'll just randomly pop over to defrost. And they can't figure out what's going on with it. And I go, it needs a defog
I was gonna
sensor.
say how. That was defog.
And I hear 3 guys go, no way! Devin had been telling him it needed a defog sensor, and they kept wanting to do this and that. They replaced the AC control head, all this stuff. I'm like, no, it needs a $6 defog sensor. It's a little humidity sensor on the windshield
Oh, okay.
that will short out
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
and
that
tell
part.
the automatic temperature control that the window is fogged up.
So it would switch.
So
So
it
it will
automatically
switch
just switch.
over to defrost, trying to knock off the fog.
Sure.
It's a $12 part. They fail all the time.
They keep them stuck. It's a 97.
Yeah, that's what he did to you. He walked up, he went,
000.
he heard that first cylinder fire off with no fuel and went, needs map sensor.
That's it. So just do me a favor, Brian. Don't pat my car and say it's being good.
Yeah, no, don't let Brian hear any
That
of
will
our
be very.
cars.
That will be very.
Don't let that
He's got
happen.
the reverse Karate Kid
He does.
hand rub. He's like,
I'll
oh,
start
break
walking
it.
to random cars in the parking lot and go, good car. And just
See,
watch.
but it's,
No. The thing is though, any other car that doesn't work on.
No.
It's
no,
only that
literally-
one.
it's
It is
literally
only that one.
Car.
That car doesn't like you.
No,
That car
the
doesn't like anybody.
Doesn't like anyone.
It doesn't like anybody.
That car hates everybody.
I'm pretty sure it was built on an ancient Indian burial ground.
To be fair, the first time I ever sat in that car, I destroyed the electronic system in that car.
You did.
I got in it, I sat down, and I touched the steering wheel.
How dare you?
And
And
the
the
entire
entire car
dash
died.
and everything, the
Went
car
nuts.
shuts off, and everything goes dark. And I'm like, what did I just do? I touched the steering wheel again, everything lit back up. His tilt steering was pinching the wires.
Ah,
so
yeah.
well, we found out that, and then also that the entire steering column part was loose. And I tightened it up. I'm like, oh, that's why my steering wheel went left and right like this for the last 10, 11 years.
Yeah.
And it finally
that was
wore
like-
through the wires.
Yeah, and he did it, and it shut. Like it was the best security system. I'm like, oh, it's running like you touch the steering wheel,
It shuts off.
whole car done, and I'm like, it's the best security system.
Right.
The
You
several-
can't steal it.
The several times I've drove it, it's been nice to me.
Well, yeah,
So-
but that was after I fixed it. it's so yeah, so that'll be back together soon. It was just this week, like it took a couple days to get all that out of me, and I was like, I'm good. It'll, yeah.
We do have to put get the higher jack and get
Yeah,
some
Yeah,
more
like I
space
said,
underneath
next
there.
time we work on, I'll bring the large jack over.
Yeah.
We'll get the thing lifted up higher.
Yeah.
Because
also,
that's
I think-
hard. That's the biggest problem is when you're working under that thing the way it's set
And
right
you
now.
only have-
But it's like right
it's
here.
on your
Yeah.
nose.
Yeah, it's right here.
I had a little bit.
There's
more
no room.
I had a little bit more room.
Yeah, I had to buy one of the 3.5 tons for even just for my wife's Mitsubishi because it was just it sits up higher.
Yeah.
And I had one of those, the 1.5 ton, you know, the lightweight.
And it's great. I mean,
Oh,
that thing,
it's a great jack.
You can freaking just
Yeah.
pick it up and move it. It was amazing.
Yeah,
But
but,
yeah,
when,
no.
but when I for that car and then when I had my Avalanche too, it wouldn't
Oh, yeah.
pick my Avalanche up.
Yeah.
So I had to get the bigger one.
And
and-
that's my thing now with the Expedition. I'm like,
Yeah, I think I've got.
need,
Yeah, I
I
think
need
mine's.
one of the big ones because
Yeah,
I am
mine's
not
the
picking
two
up
or
that
two or
Expedition.
2.5 ton aluminum jack.
Yeah,
The
no,
Pittsburgh one.
I'm gonna go. I'm probably gonna
Yeah,
go
you're
with
gonna
like the
need-
Daytona. Like
Yeah,
the
you're
That's
gonna
what I
need
had
that.
to Daytona
yeah.
3.5.
Yeah, you're gonna need
like
that.
that.
Because it'll pick up the white dually
Really?
with no
Okay,
problem. So
okay.
you know, one corner. I mean,
Well,
I'm not
yeah.
you're not
Yeah.
picking up the whole truck, but
Hey, how's it going?
Rick,
Hey, Rick.
hey, how's it going?
Rick!
Rick.
But
Rick's in Canada.
oh,
Oh,
we
you guys
have
are
a couple people that
you
watch
guys
us
are
from Canada.
freezing up there.
Yeah.
I'm freezing right here.
Well, they have that white
Your
stuff on the
weather
ground.
is in
Yeah.
my yard and it's drunk.
Yeah, can you tell it to get back home?
Yeah, I think it was 31 at my house this morning, and he's probably going to laugh about that.
They're going, oh, wow, golf
well,
weather.
He's about 5 minutes from Detroit, so he's
Oh,
not
he's
really
from-
like in
yeah, but
Canada.
Right on that
So-
part. Yeah.
He's more like North America.
Yeah.
Not really Canada.
Southern Canada.
Southern
Southern
Yeah.
Canada.
He's North Detroit. It's
But-
like just looking down the road here. It's like, oh, yep, that's there you go. You're right there.
Yeah. So we did ordered the Z-Bar because I wanted to stay with going with a manual transmission.
Yep.
I didn't want to go with a hydraulic clutch. Try to keep it as old school as possible,
Yep.
as original
Yep.
type, not original, but as
Period
period correct as I
Yeah.
possibly could. Well, since how the 64 Falcon, 64 and 5 Falcons never came with a 390.
Mm-hmm.
The only car that did was the 64 Mercury Comet Caliente. But unfortunately, they don't repop parts for that
Yeah.
because it was essentially a race car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The factory built race car. So I ordered one for a 67 8 Mustang with a 390. So hopefully that'll be wide enough that when I set the motor in there, because that pretty much will dictate where the engine's going to live.
Yeah.
So I got that coming. So hopefully you get that. I got
And then with that, would you have to run like an adapter plate or?
no. I just got to get find somebody who's got a FE bell housing
Okay.
for a 390 428 car, because the trucks are all over the place, but the trucks are actually 5/8 of an inch deeper,
Okay.
so the car transmission won't fit into the bell housing. So that's only meant for the trucks. But
You
the
think
problem
Russ
with
would
the
have anything?
I don't know if Russ has any manual parts left over from the Mustang.
Because I know that had the 390 in it.
Yeah, that was a 390 manual car, but I don't know if he has any of the parts left over from that thing.
Don't
I don't know if he had like the driveline parts.
The problem
Yeah.
is finding a bell housing. When you find the bell housing, there's one on Marketplace. The guy wants $1,000 for it because it's for
Yep.
a car. I can get a scatter shield, a brand new scatter shield through Napa for $900.
Now, have you checked through NPD, seeing if they make any repops of that?
I haven't found one.
Because I know NPD has been doing a lot more
Yeah.
repops of stuff, and NPD is
Also, Scott Drake Engineering does a bunch of
yes,
stuff too.
Yes. Yep.
I mean, he's very Mustang specific, but
Yeah, well,
But
I mean, the
some
bell
like
housing is a
that.
bell housing.
Yeah.
It's not, it's not car specific. It's just either car or truck.
Yeah. Shoot, who else would?
I don't know anybody who would actually like repop that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, NPD and Scott Drake were the only ones I could think of.
Yeah.
For that.
Yeah, and it's just one of those because they're so, like you said, like they're not really aftermarket oriented, but
Yeah.
all the aftermarket stuff that they have is
Yeah.
like period correct stuff.
Yeah.
Like you're not looking at all this crazy. You might get Holly like a sniper EFI system or something like that from them.
Yeah,
But, like besides that, you're getting quarter panels, all that. Yeah, I don't know if they would. That I would try looking into NPD.
Yeah, I'll have to check them
Yeah,
out.
NPD, Scott Drake, and stuff like that. and
The
see
greatest
what-
thing
yeah.
is if they have it. I mean, hell, don't pay shipping. It's cheaper just to drive
Drive up there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That anytime we get parts for the 86, it's like, oh, we're driving up there.
Well,
Yeah.
actually, when I
and then we
needed
get to go inside too.
Yes.
when I needed floor pans for my car, so I was buying the halves
Mm-hmm.
because the whole pan was way too expensive, so it was cheaper to buy the halves.
Mm-hmm.
And Eckler's out in it's out towards Orlando.
Ogonka?
No,
No.
out towards Orlando,
Okay.
Oviedo
And-
area.
That way.
somewhere out
Somewhere
there.
out
Yeah,
there.
and I was just gonna go drive and pick them up. I figured, well, it's probably gonna cost me about maybe $50-$60 in gas,
Yep.
a little bit of tolls, but the money they wanted for shipping,
Shipping, yeah.
wasn't
It was
great. It
probably
was crazy.
like $300-$400. Yeah.
So
Because of the size of it.
I was
like,
gotta
you know
get
what?
oversized.
Let me get on eBay. So I looked on eBay. They actually had they have an eBay store. I got them. I got the floor halves sent to my house free.
Free shipping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I'll take that.
Oh yeah. Well, that's like sometimes with like Rock Auto. Like, yeah, the parts are cheaper, but it comes down to like the shipping.
Right.
And
But-
that, like, I mean, like
Even with the shipping, though.
I mean, on some things, yeah, but then there's others where it's like, okay, like, oh, that's, $20, $25 cheaper, but then once you factor in, the shipping, I'm
It's
like,
about the same price.
I can, well, and it's going to take, 2 weeks where I can order from LMR, and I'm spending, I'm getting free shipping, and I know it'll be here within 3 days.
Right.
Yeah,
Like-
so some of that stuff, like brakes, I got a full power stop kit for my car, $276. Shipping
All
tax,
four
shipping
corners.
taxes and everything for all 4 corners. Pads, rotors, all the hardware, everything. Buying similar grade stuff from like AutoZone or O'Reilly's or anywhere else is going to be like $450. And similar grade stuff, even that power stop kit that I found on other retailers was like over $300, even for free shipping.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I got it in 2 days.
Exactly.
I got everything in 2 days. I'm like,
and you got a magnet.
and I got.
Ooh.
Speaking of which, anybody interested in doing a magnet swap?
I only got a couple. I'll grab them.
Okay, because I didn't bring it with me, but I now have 2 of the red Mark III Supers. So got to have different magnets.
Yeah, like the trunk pan for my car was like $700 for the trunk pan, and it's got a 2 foot by 2 foot gaping hole in it because just like the Mustang, the gas tank is part of the trunk floor.
These are literally the only 2 that I have, but they're pretty cool.
But and they
Okay.
wanted something like another $400 for shipping because it was truck free. So I was like, no. West Coast Metal up there on over there in Crystal River, $157 for a 4 foot by 10 foot sheet of 18 gauge. So there's my trunk fan.
Bam.
Plus I'm running a fuel cell.
He spends tons on shipping to Canada.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet.
Oh, anything crossing borders anywhere, shit gets real expensive real quick.
Yeah.
Yep.
Plus customs and duties and all that kind of stuff goes with it.
Uh-oh.
Chris, you're on a roll with this.
Well, I saw that one after the last one we did. I
I
was
know.
like, I have to.
You are on a roll with this.
Well, that's like me. I did 2 toppling
Well, now it's
giants in a row.
Another
Yeah.
cider like we did that last time.
I'd like to split because my
Did you
stomach
check out the
is
sweetener on
really
this one?
not having
I
a
did
good time
not.
right now.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
I understand.
yeah, no. Little Caesars is talking back to him.
I didn't take my acid reducer this morning.
Nope, it's got the high fructose corn syrup.
Okay, so
good
y'all
enough.
are gonna split.
Yeah.
Do you want to split with him?
Yeah, I'll
or-
split with him. That's fine. I'm good with that.
Then
I don't care.
I'm putting this one back in there.
Don't bother me.
I'm gonna take a little more of this
Yeah,
one
go
than I did
for
the
it.
last one.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm ready to go home and take an 8-hour nap.
Yeah, I have to be careful with my alcohol intake right now. So I've been having issues with my sinuses for a long
Okay.
time. Found out I've got
I think so.
pretty major polyps in there.
Really?
And this is a trigger for it. It's an aggravator for any type of inflammatory disease.
Really? Okay.
So,
I have so in February of last year, the end of February, I had some pain, stomach pain, and I thought, well, maybe it's just a gas pocket, but it got really bad. Wound up going to the hospital down there on 50, over the Sun Coast. And they're like, oh yeah, it's just a gas pocket, and so they gave me something to drink, which helped the pain and stuff like that, and sent me home. I got maybe 2 hours of sleep, and the next day was just even worse. Just kept getting worse and worse and worse. So I went over to the walk-in clinic, and they're like, well, it's going to be a few hours. You're better off just going to the hospital. So we go back to the hospital. Luckily, the doctor that was there that night that I went, the night before, was there that night. And I was sitting in the waiting room, and I must have fell asleep. Because they gave me a shot of something while I was when they did the ER. Not the ER, but the post-op. And I woke up and I had a fever. And I thought maybe it was just like because I fell asleep and I didn't have anything covering me. But so the doctor came in, looked at me, talked to me a little bit. He's like, well, since you were here last night for the same thing, we'll keep you just to do a little observation. Come to find out, my gallbladder had to come out.
Been there, done that.
It died, went gangrene, and broke open.
Okay, I didn't, okay, mine wasn't that bad. Mine was just a big sack of stones.
Yeah. Well, I had the stones.
Yeah.
So.
Sláinte.
I'm really excited about this one.
You know, we should just say an old school cheers every now and then.
Oh god
Ooh.
damn!
Oh, that's yummy.
Ooh, that's good.
Oh god damn!
That'll get you in
Oh.
trouble.
Oh, that is good. I like that
Once
better
again,
than the
needs
last
to
one.
be over ice.
I like
Over
that.
ice in a Yeti while you're mowing the yard.
I like that better
Exactly.
than the last one, and I loved the last one. but
I
this-
could have taken it out for free, Mike.
What's
Your gallbladder.
Oh, okay. I'll give this rest to the girls.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Good try. Alright, there's only
Yeah, that was. I was supposed to only be on the operating table for about an hour. 3 hours later, when I
Yeah.
came off the operating table. So
One of our coworkers just got his gallbladder removed.
it's fun, I tell you. You should try it.
Yeah, mine, I pretty much, I don't get heartburn, ever,
Yeah,
after having mine out.
yeah.
But if I eat really acidic foods, I belch a lot.
Yeah. See, mine is like heavy cheeses, is why I have sometimes I'll have issues. But like tonight we had pizza. And had
So did we.
a lot of cheese
Yeah.
on it.
That's what we did. A brand new place just opened, literally right here across from the gas station. Super excited about that because it's not even a mile,
Right.
right there.
Yeah.
Like, it's great. And they do, sandwiches, all that stuff. So,
Alright.
so tonight was a grand opening of it. It was a little clusterfuck, but
Yeah. Well,
I
But
mean,
the
it was
pizza was
grand
good.
opening.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the pizza
but
was
pizza
good.
was good, all that. So, super excited about it, and it wasn't chain pizza.
No.
so in June I'm heading up to go see my family in Pennsylvania. So I'll probably go. I'll try to swing by that brewery that I went to.
Oh
and
yeah,
pick
that's
up,
the one you were talking about.
and pick up a couple of more.
Cool.
I'll get that peanut butter beer that you like.
Oh, yeah.
So I know you said you liked it. I won't get an IPA.
No IPA. Well, he likes IPAs.
I do.
Yeah.
And but I'm also picking up a set of Fender Well headers.
Oh.
Fun
Oh,
time.
boy.
One of the guys that I know, he's building a '64 Falcon. It's an altered.
Okay.
The rear wheels are shoved like
Yeah.
16 inches forward. The front wheels are shoved forward. But when he did his down bars that go from the firewall to the frame rail, instead of like mine come out and then go down, his go down at an angle. He's emulating I forgot whose car it was, and I apologize, but it was a car that he knows, and he's building it to reflect that.
Okay.
Well, he got a set of Fender Well headers from one of the Southeast Gasser guys, and what they do is to build for the FEs, they actually take the Tri-5 Chevy big block headers,
Okay.
Fender Well headers, cut the flanges off, get FE flanges, and weld them on.
Huh.
They pretty much line up. A couple of tubes have to be bent and heated up, bent, and I think one a piece has to be added. So he's got a set for me because every single tube hits that bar that he's got. And he's like, I'm not changing it.
Yeah.
Of
So,
course it does.
Okay.
Of course it does.
Have you seen the what is it? Is it a Fury? The Ultra Wheelbase Fury? The old guy that is always up at all the shows.
Oh, it's not a Fury. I forgot what it is. It's
Cornet, 64
yeah.
Cornet.
No, it's the mid-sized car. Yeah, he's not doing well health-wise.
Oh.
So anyway,
But
yeah,
it's he's had it for
bright red.
years.
he did it as an altered wheelbase,
Nice.
but it's got a modern twin plug EFI Hemi in it.
Cool.
It is a cool car.
Yeah,
it is a
that's
really
awesome.
cool car.
But yeah, the rear wheels are basically only like you got the back of the door.
Yeah.
It,
B
Right,
pillar
right.
and like 4 inches over. his-
yeah, yeah, right there.
Yeah, I think
and
he
all
went. I
that.
think he went like 14 inches
Inches
forward on the rear
yeah.
axle.
Yeah.
And then it looks really.
Yeah, I
really
know on the
fucking
Falcon
good.
you can go 16 before the inner fender well hits the B pillar.
Okay.
So
Yeah, no,
You
he
can do that.
But yeah, he's had that car for
Yeah,
a
long time.
Sorry, I'm trying to read.
well, I can't read. That's too tiny.
Out of Speedway 700 to ship here. Yeah,
Yeah.
62 to 67 Nova. Cool.
Did you see our video of Blasphemy?
Yes.
Dude, in person,
Yeah,
that thing, like
it's a
the
bad ride.
sound.
That
the
car
sound
is so
of that,
violent.
Yeah.
we were at basically at the scoreboard. We were at like the quarter-mile mark.
We're about 800 feet. We were
Yeah.
about 800 feet down.
And
So he was solidly in fourth gear when he
Yeah.
went singing
well,
by
but
us.
you heard him fire up coming up through the station, and then he got into the burnout box, and then you felt it.
Yeah.
Like it was.
That Hemi makes some power.
And even like the other cars that had more power were faster, like didn't hit like that hit almost like top fuel, like a lower version
Well,
of top fuel hit.
I think he's got 2-inch header, 2-inch headers in
Yeah.
primary tubes.
to like 4 inch.
Yeah, 4-inch
like,
dump.
outs. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, when he uncorks it and that.
Yeah.
when it's not
Yeah.
running
And
through
it's
the
The only thing
box.
that I'm upset with that car that he did, he went back to independent front suspension.
But he,
Yeah.
I mean, he did. It did stay within the gasser. Kind of
I
thing.
get it,
And there's
but-
other people
Yeah.
that are running it.
Yeah.
But also too, he said that car was flat out scary to drive. Like that
Oh, yeah.
thing, at like 800 feet on, like
Yeah.
that thing was just
Well,
death wobbling and going
but
nuts
I
all
can
over.
understand why he did it because of also the amount of dragon drives and
Right.
stuff that he does, to where it's
No,
not.
I understand why he did it. and
But
I
there,
get it, but
yeah,
just
and
like-
actually, he did have at one of the Dragon Drives, somebody actually did protest for the
Yes.
A-arms,
Mhm.
and it was Keith
'cause
Turk and them
they
that
were
came
saying
over
that
and
it
said,
was, well, they were
No, they
trying
said
to
it was
say that
fine.
it was a Mustang 2 front or something.
yeah,
like
they
that.
said, but
like,
it's not. It was a custom fabricated,
Yeah.
like a chassis shop, custom fabricated the whole front end, and it still sits the
Yeah.
way
Sits the
Blasphemy's
pie, yeah.
always sat.
Yep.
And like
And
I
they
said,
were respectful about it. Like the
Yeah.
guy that protest was like, once they came over, I think they put it on to the lift to like go over, and he was like, nope, I apologize. I thought it was Mustang 2, but nope, I agree with that. You're allowed to.
Right.
yeah, it's all good.
I
but
take away my
Yeah, like I
protest.
said,
and
when I seen it, I was like, oh, but no, I mean, I get it.
But, like-
they're just violent cars.
But
God,
that thing,
that
but like I
thing,
said,
oh my god.
so
I felt the earth turn backwards
So
when
my-
he dropped that clutch.
So back in 2016, I had, before we were ever doing this, I had a pretty big hospital adventure.
I thought Brian died.
Yeah, so
I got a phone call that I thought was Brian was dead.
So yeah, so anyway, so laid up in the hospital for a couple months, and obviously have a lot of time on my hands. And hospital TV,
Sucks.
it sucked. It still sucks, but it sucked worse then.
Yeah.
Because hospital cable TV systems are just a little bit different than the regular cable, even by the same company.
Yeah.
So
Even
so
motels
yeah,
are
so
the same way.
So yeah, like I
We
said,
started to send
so
this
dad,
stuff.
when my dad came up one, I said, I'm bored out of my mind. So the next day he came up and he brought a tablet, brought my tablet up, and so I'm just literally sitting there and just starting to search car content all over the interwebs.
Right.
And prior to that, YouTube was for the most part cat videos.
Right.
It wasn't a whole lot of like car centric stuff on
Except
it.
Snake Bite
There-
2.0.
Yeah, there was a couple of street race videos here and there, but it wasn't like a lot of car content on YouTube, so I just never really looked. But then I obviously had time on my hands, and then just searching the interwebs, just YouTube video, Roadkill, Mighty Car Mods, all
Yeah.
of these, kind of the early, 1320 video and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And then
We're going back and forth.
We would
He's
just-
sending me stuff. I'm watching. I'm finding stuff. I'm sending it to him. He's like, I just watched 8 episodes of this. Watch this. And I'm like, I watched 2 episodes of this. Watch this.
so yeah, like
We found some good
so
good
and a lot
stuff.
of that stuff that we found then, both of us are still subscribed. We have
Right.
are subscribed today.
Yeah.
But like I said, I found
C7 is also with turbo
turbo
whistles
whistles.
on
But
it.
like I said, Roadkill,
Right.
because Roadkill started off on
On
YouTube.
YouTube, yeah.
Yep.
So I was watching and then I went back and watched all the episodes of Roadkill up until then. So
I think it
and
was
following
season
from then
4.
on, and then they did Blasphemy. Like they
Yeah.
first they got the body,
They
and then
drove all the way. It was what the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah,
they drove up to Oregon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all the way
So-
out there, almost to Canada.
yeah, like I said, so it was from that episode on, I've been following
Right.
online
Right.
Blasphemy, the builds, the failures, the parts breaking, everything going on with that car.
And also the fact that Mike Finnegan is just a cool fucking dude. He's just,
Right, yeah.
he's just,
He looks like he'd be pretty cool to hang out
oh,
with.
he's just chill. He's
Yeah,
just
he's totally chill. Yeah, like I said, we spoke to him briefly at the first sick week
Right.
when
And
we
he
were
was
at Don
like,
Gar's.
"This is great. This is great."
I just kind of because they came in that Firebird,
Right.
And, and as soon as they pulled in, that thing was just pouring smoke out of it.
They
You
shut
You
it
knew who it
off
was.
and they shut it off, and it just went. We were
And
like,
so
"Hi guys," they're like, "We're getting something to
like
eat."
we were walking along, and next thing you know, like he's right next to us, and I'm like, "So I see you guys entered like you usually do," and he was like, yeah, we're not so smart sometimes. And I'm like, you guys do sketchy shit with cars and get paid for it. You guys are geniuses.
Exactly.
He's like,
exactly.
yeah,
He's
it's
like,
fun.
yeah, it's pretty funny.
You should.
Best day at
They-
work ever.
They should not have been allowed to make
No.
money and have that much fun at work. I'm
So,
sorry.
like I said, so I've been just seeing this car and following, and it's still like my favorite YouTube car.
It is. It really
And
is. I can agree with that.
So this time when we went to Gainesville, like we're walking around and
We watched.
they were
it
there
pull
on day
in.
4, and it's there, and we're
Because they
like,
had just come from the dyno. That's why they were
they had
late.
just come
That's
from-
why they were late.
Oh, okay.
yeah, because they did a dyno run. They were around the dyno at KSR earlier.
Right.
Trying to figure out why I kept on missing on them.
So we saw them pull in, and we're like, all right, we'll walk around because obviously they got to switch over to racing and all that kind of stuff.
Sure, yeah.
And then we kind of
So
walked
like-
around a bunch, and then we came over, and there's Blasphemy sitting there, and it was like, wow, finally see this thing in person.
Right.
And then we got to see that thing make a run in person,
Yeah.
in anger.
Yeah.
Like,
888 at
Yeah.
156.
That car
Yeah.
gets pissed off.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
one
Wasn't
of
that his fastest? The fastest he's ever been in that car.
Not he's ever been.
he's
but
gone.
Of that week.
He's been in the 850s, but that was the fastest pass for that sick week.
So and that was also so it has a slipper clutch that has all the different weights on it. Like, and I had no idea
Isn't it
about
like
this.
a two disc?
But it actually has like weights that you can
Right.
change onto it, and like I had no idea.
So
about
basically,
that.
on that clutch, you can basically just right off the line, just
Dump
Sidestep
dump
it.
the
Yeah.
clutch.
But it's one of those
And
that
it-
doesn't.
It won't grab.
Yeah.
yeah,
fully.
it brings it in
But
progressively.
It's kind of centrifugal.
Yeah.
Whereas the faster it goes, the weights start coming in
Yeah.
and
start
Yeah,
clamping
that-
harder.
that's
Yeah.
where adjusting
Yep.
the different weights
Yep.
will do that.
Yeah, a lot
And-
of the guys, some of the guys in Southeast Gassers, they use
Yeah.
clutches like that now.
Yeah.
So.
And which
They're a lot
is
easier.
like mind blowing, like how that works. Like that
Leroy,
that's crazy.
Leroy's got
Yeah,
one.
but it was actually slipping on him, and because I saw the video of like they were with 1320 where they got him at the end, and he's like, "Do you know your numbers there?" He's like, "No." He's like, "But oh, that clutch was slipping, like it felt slow." He's like, "You ran at 888." He's like, "No, I didn't." He's like, "You ran at 888." He's like,
One and done.
"One and done, let's go." He's like, "I thought we were gonna have to do 2-3 passes." He's
Yeah,
like,
like I
"No,
said,
you
'cause
ran at
we-
888." He's like,
Yeah, we saw
"I'm
him
getting
make
that ticket. I'm putting it in." He's like, "We'll be out of here in 30 minutes."
Yeah, we
And they did.
We saw
they
him
were,
make the
they
pass.
packed up and gone.
Yeah, we saw him make the
Gone.
pass, and then we stayed and watched a few more passes, and we went out walking around, and Blasphemy was gone.
By noon, they were gone.
Nice.
Because
Yeah.
they did that pass probably about
11:30, 11:15, 11:30, yeah.
Noon, gone.
Wow,
Gone.
that's awesome.
But yeah, so that was super cool. Was this car that I've seen just from its beginnings
Right.
all the way and all the
Exactly.
stuff this car's gone through.
I think that was.
It's weird
You
because
saw the shell get loaded onto a trailer
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
TV.
And,
Yeah.
and just a smile on his face.
Uh-huh.
And, but his
Yeah,
smile
I know
hasn't-
that feeling.
His smile
Yes.
hasn't changed the entire time. No
Right.
matter, like, he's
Well,
with that car,
Yes.
that smile.
That first
and
episode-
That's how you know that's his forever car.
Yeah.
Because it's the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
I fucking hate that car, but goddamn, I go near it
That's
and I
your
fucking
forever
smile.
car. Right.
I smile
No,
so
it was
much.
it
Like,
was
it's
it was
same
the
thing.
end of that episode when the body was on the chassis and it was sitting out in the parking lot and he's literally just sitting cross-legged on the ground just looking at the car and going, "Ha, got my dream car."
Yeah.
That
Yep.
was like, that's my favorite car now.
Yep.
Yep.
I don't even give a crap about Tri-5 Chevys. You cannot swing a dead cat at any car meet anywhere in this state without hitting 6 of them.
Right.
Like, I don't care about them.
I saw a TikTok and it was
I like that one,
boomers
though.
when they see their the fifth red and white 57 Bel Air at a car show. And it's like, this is the greatest car ever. Like, there's 5 of them sitting over there.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I'm like I said, as far as
I think I
they're,
sent
they're
that to
cool
you.
cars.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah.
They're cool cars. They're historical cars. They're important cars in American car history and all that sort of stuff. But damn, I'm kind of tired of seeing them.
You see the same things over and over again.
You know?
Mustangs, Camaros, and there's nothing different you can
Yeah.
do to those cars,
That
Tri-5s, that somebody
been
hasn't
done.
done already.
Yeah,
So
but
And that's why I love seeing Fox bodies with weird stuff put in them. Like,
Right.
let me see that.
like a
Barrett.
gasser Fox body.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, he sent me a '79 coupe that was a gasser.
Yeah, somebody put a straight
Fuck
X
yeah,
for it.
awesome, amazing.
Badass.
Because I'm tired of seeing them with twin turbo LSs in it. Like, no, like it's got a Ford motor. Hell yeah, yo, it's got a Toyota motor. Put a Toyota 1UZ in it. Hell yeah, that's awesome.
how about a 2UZ?
Well, but you know what I mean. Like, throw something
Yeah.
stupid in it
Now,
And I
there-
will
One,
love it
one
more
UZ
than-
is the 4-ish liter V8. The 2 UZ is the 5-liter V12 from the Century.
Oh, right on. Okay.
But just let me see something stupid in
Like that
it.
dude
Like,
with the EcoBoost one with the 4-cylinder.
yeah,
That's pretty
and
bad.
just seeing that, it's great. It's not a twin turbo LS. Like, don't get me wrong, they make power. They're great. Like, they really are. They're amazing. But I'm just tired of seeing them.
Yeah.
I've seen on Marketplace, the guy's got a 64 5 Falcon, and it's got a 2JZ swap in it.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah.
And it's,
Hell yeah!
It's back half, and I'm like,
But I applaud that man's like
I get it.
like
It's
they're
just like,
genius of
There
that.
was like who's that guy? He's got the donk, the Chevelle convertible with a built 2JZ in it, and it's a donk.
So
Well,
there's
That's
there was
rad.
at Sick Week there was a '72 Chevelle that had a Barra in it,
I
a
saw
4-liter
that. Yeah.
Barra.
Yep.
And
What
that-
the hell?
and that was another thing. Like I said, the sick week that we missed because we didn't know the checkpoint was as at NPD. Benny with the Cresta from Australia was here. We missed it. But this year we saw that Chevelle and finally got to hear a Barra make a pass.
They sound better than 2J, I guess.
They do sound they're
Oh.
beefier. They're just
Them,
bigger.
them Hurricane trucks were pretty
yo,
cool.
I- I gotta be
There was two of them that was
and
running.
the fact that like
And
they,
she
they
ran the
both,
fastest time of any Hurricane motor. So like that was the
well,
greatest
that's
thing
the
was
thing.
it was
They
her
were great
fastest
motors
pass.
with tuning. That was it.
Yeah,
and also still
all
running
stock.
the 8 HP or the 9 HP.
Mm-hmm.
That 8-speed automatic that they
Yep.
come with.
They-
that was like a
and they-
complete crate powertrain that was
Yeah.
just dropped into
And they
it.
literally just tuned it. It was
Yep.
just tuning. They were running 10s and trucks.
Well, no, they hit. She hit 9, high 9. I think
Yeah.
it was 998 or
Yeah.
something like that. And it was her fastest pass, plus also the fastest pass that Hurricane platform has ever been. So
Yeah,
they
so-
were so excited because she's like, "That was my fastest pass." They're like, "That's awesome." And Fred's like, "Wait, that's also you're the first one with that.
You're the first Hurricane to go
with
in the
that
nines."
power plant
What is a
going
Hurricane?
9s." So
It's Dodge's new twin turbo inline 6.
Okay.
So it's in the new Grand
Wagoneer,
Grand
Grand
Wagoneer, the new what's the
It's
new
replacing
truck?
the Hemi and the Ram.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it's stock 500 and something horsepower.
Yeah, there's
500
there's,
something
yeah, there's
pound-feet
there's
of
like 3 different levels to it.
Levels.
Plus they have a crate engine
very
set up.
unique sound.
Yeah,
too.
but it's an
Very
inline
unique
6,
sound.
which is amazing. It reminds me of just the slant 6. It's and it does sound that it has. I mean, it's
All right,
it's
somebody's gonna start messing with
amazing.
the Mazda one now
Oh yeah.
because they have the Mazda one in the SUV. Somebody needs to start messing with that. Now.
Right?
True.
Yes.
I'm just so
Yes.
happy there's finally straight 6s coming back.
Everywhere,
Back.
isn't
Yeah,
there?
it's like they're coming back, kind of.
Because people finally realize one straight 6 is one of the best sounding engines ever. Like,
And I'm-
I mean,
It's-
besides a
it's-
V8, like that sound of a straight 6 is, you get the perfect amount of hum to it. You get the perfect amount of burble to it. You get the perfect amount of just in
Send it.
tune. Yeah,
Smoothness.
Oh, the noise is perfect.
I'm actually kind of impressed with what people have been doing with the Atlas 4200. The General Motors Vortec straight 6.
Oh yeah.
That were into not the
The-
Tahoes, Trailblazers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Colorados.
Yep.
But they
And the
also
H3s.
they
no,
also
the Colorados were
That
the 5-cylinder.
The H3 is what I was thinking.
Which have you heard those 5-cylinders with exhaust?
I've
It's
not
a 5-cylinder. that's
I
why
know
sounds
it.
good.
It sounds rally. It's just it's rally.
The
And
5-cylinder
5-cylinders
noises.
are just
Yeah. All it needs is a turbo and a flutter valve to sound like an 80s
not
rally
even,
car.
Not even that. Just throw an exhaust on any 5-cylinder. It can be a tractor. God damn, let's go rallying right now. Right now, that is the best sound ever.
And not to mention the 5-cylinder that we fixed with nitrous.
Oh God, we fixed that head gasket. We really did.
We
car-
didn't
that-
fix
that
it
was
so
a great
much as
car.
we just
Nitrous will
welded
fix
the
it.
head and the
That
block
Volvo,
together.
that Volvo owed nobody nothing.
It was no
It was a
longer
great
leaking.
car.
Hence,
Nitrous
it
will
was
fixed
fixed.
anything.
And then it
It
started
was
knocking.
fair.
And then it quit knocking.
And
when we gave it
again,
more nitrous.
there's
There you
nothing
go,
more
see?
permanent than
Yeah,
a
it-
temporary
It
fix
helps.
that
It
works.
takes up the space.
It does.
It
You
It
know?
does.
Yeah, it stopped knocking after we fed it a tank full of nitrous.
Well, yeah, you
It-
got
it was-
you're putting so much
Okay,
pressure on everything. Everything stays nice
no,
and
no,
It
no,
tight.
was smoking like a freight train consuming oil before, and it quit
You
smoking.
don't understand. Like, this Volvo was clapped out.
Right?
Knocking, smoking,
We got it for free.
pressurizing the coolant. Like, it was doing all of that
Nice.
stuff. And we're like, well, let's see what happens when we do this.
Well, we got it donated to us
And we didn't
to
have,
to do
to do dumb
stuff
shit with. we didn't have a nitrous kit so much as the guy 3 shops down had a mother bottle with some nitrous left in it.
And it
just happened to have regular ass air hose fittings on it. So we kind of plugged in the air hose and then cut a hole in the hood and cut a hole in the air box, shoved the hose down in.
And we
fired it up,
and one of the guys went.
Cut the muffler off so it made wonderful 5-cylinder sounds.
Yeah.
We cut it right at the cat open
Nice.
header.
So
There you go.
basically, we just did a full manual dry shot.
Nice.
And
It was,
sent
oh, no,
it.
it was great. The thing would start doing a burnout, kind of start struggling,
And then you open it up,
What?
and next thing you know, you didn't see the car again, and I'm
Blaze the tires right off.
oh, I'm inside choking. I'm literally like there. I did throw up in it twice because of the amount of tire smoke that was going on inside of it.
Not just inside of it, inside the building, outside the building, around the building, around the neighbor's house behind
And then
there.
we're like, okay, we completely blew it up, and then we realized it stopped eating coolant, and we let it cool off, and we added coolant to it, and we never had to add coolant to it again, and then we did an oil change,
Sound
and then
cool.
we
never had to put
well,
oil in it again.
and the oil leak stopped, and then it started to have a little bit of a knock, so we added more nitrous to it.
We added more nitrous.
And then
and it knock went away, and then it was still one of those.
And then 6 months later, the car. Then after we were done having our fun with it, the car sat in the back 40 for 6-7 months.
Yeah.
all windows down, everything like that.
And
you
at some
throw
point,
a battery in it,
and somebody was like, "I wonder if it still runs." Threw a battery in it.
And it ran perfect.
Yeah, we did more burnouts with it.
Yeah,
switch tires.
And if you're wondering how much nitrous we put
Yes.
through that motor, the
Yes.
answer is yes.
All of it.
yes.
It's
Because
basically-
we asked that question, well, how much nitrous should we put through there?
All
Yeah.
of it.
Yes.
Dude, that thing was ripping. It was ripping.
I had the speedometer pegged out, which was 130 mile per hour speedometer.
So yeah, that thing had wheel speed for days.
and I was only in third gear
Nice.
because I was manually shifting it. But yeah,
Yeah, wheel
That's fun.
speed for days.
Oh,
It was fun.
good.
Go ahead.
Another fun thing that we're doing tomorrow
Yes.
is I am super excited about this, guys. Like, well, and y'all know, we are finally going to the Freedom Factory.
Hell yeah, brother.
Finally
Danger Ranger race.
Not only the Danger Ranger race, but
Pro
the
Trucks
Ultima
and Ultima
600.
Yep.
Nice.
All for Mikey's birthday.
All for Mikey's
So it
birthday.
was one of those, a couple months ago when they announced the schedule and what they were doing, I was looking at it and I'm like, that's on my birthday. And I'm like, wait a second, my birthday's on I was like, is it on a Friday or Saturday? I'm like, no, it's on a Saturday. I'm like, Sabrina, this is what I want for my birthday. I want to go to the Freedom Factory to watch the Danger Ranger and Ultima race. She's like, okay, done.
All right. Cool.
Tomorrow,
We're
of
all
us
going.
We're
Right on.
8 deep in the expedition. We're taking everything out of it, having all the seats up. 8 deep. We're going down 2.5 hours. We're driving to Bradenton. We're gonna get there. We all got pit passes,
Nice.
so we're all gonna go get in there. So that makes it to where we can sit on the regular GA side or on the pit side.
Right.
Plus, we get to wander around in the back.
wander
and we
around
get
the
to
pits,
Wander
all
around
that.
and have all kinds of interesting times.
Right on.
And I'm so excited.
It's
I
going
am
to be fun on the bun.
I am
It is gonna
so
be fun.
excited about that because I mean I do love my drag racing and that, but I do love my circle of round and round.
And also
racing.
just basically any kind of automotive redneck shit we're all good
Well,
with.
right?
it's one of those. At this point, I am like the amount of times that I've bought the pay per view and that.
Yeah.
I get to see some of my favorite YouTubers. Got like JHD.
Probably get to meet him.
Well,
And
yeah.
that was
and that's
that was the thing about Sick Week. Like the first one that we went to, and then
We met Vice Garage. Hell, the Vargas brothers. We ate dinner with the Vargas brothers. They were
we
behind us,
like
in front of us in line, and we sat down with them and ate dinner with them.
those empanadas were
Oh God,
fantastic.
they were amazing.
But yeah, like I said, hanging out, going to Don Garlick's place, like I said, Finnegan and Derek Bierry from Vice Grip, Vargas brothers were there, Kyle and Fred and Woody from 1320 Video from
yeah,
there.
we were literally so it was the Vargas brothers were in front of us. Kyle and Fred and Woody were behind
They were
us.
figuring out which to get for food, and we're like, yeah, we're in the line for
And
empanadas.
so they got behind us, and we were in line for like 15 minutes because I mean, the
And
food truck was amazing.
just started.
All of us.
Hey, how's your race week going? You know, because they were doing a rotary for race week, and I
then
was
also-
sarcastically saying, but rotaries are unreliable.
But that's also when Cooper
Exploded a transmission.
and he was on the phone, and you heard we literally heard Cooper say,
I'm done.
"I'm done." Transmission blew, and he's like, "Where are you at? Do I have to come get you?" He's like, "Eat your food and then come get me." He's like, "All right, we got to get Cooper after we eat the food." And
But yeah, like I said, but seeing a whole bunch of YouTube cars and stuff like that, the first time was cool, and then the second time we're walking around the pits and we're seeing all kinds of, again, you know, cars we've seen on the internet for years and cars we've seen racing and drag and drive coverage for years. Like now we're
Able
like
to see it in
seeing
person.
them, not just going down the road doing trailer burnouts. But
Was Brian Goldstone there with his javelin?
He
broke on the line.
He broke on the
Did he?
line at Gainesville.
Ah,
Popped the rod out.
He broke
Yeah.
a lot of times.
Well, so they thought it was transmission fluid. He made it 40 feet past the. He did his burnout, all that went to go, and then just but it turned out that it was he chucked a rod through the motor,
Nice.
and that was
made
his
a
thing.
see-through engine.
Yeah.
He ventilated it.
Added an
so that's going to
inspection
be
window.
very exciting, and we'll probably have some pictures and stuff to throw
Well,
together,
the only
video
thing
maybe
they
or
said
something
was
like
they
that.
don't want anybody to live stream from
during-
the event.
So
But I'm pretty sure
the-
we can walk around and
No,
shoot some pictures, shoot some videos.
You're allowed to do pictures. You're allowed to video, and that you just can't live stream from the event because it is a pay-per-view event.
Yeah.
Right.
And that. So
So,
you,
yeah, we'll
you can
probably-
do videos, all that.
Put
just,
something together.
Yeah, you just can't do live sharing because at that point then you have people that are past the paywall, all
Yeah.
that stuff. After the event, usually it ends up becoming,
Yeah,
free,
then everything
yeah.
ends up being of the
Yeah.
public domain.
but it's one of those at that point it's can't do that.
So yeah, we can totally respect that.
And on that note, we should segue into the last tiny little thing before we end, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the cars and bids are
Yeah.
ejecting
so,
people.
So
This
My
is
dumb-
company-wide layoff.
So
Yeah.
my dumb ass went to a small car meet this afternoon and did not get a auction car for the cars and bids deal. Like
You got
we
a
usually
Glory
do.
Days?
Also,
Huh?
You go to Glory Days?
Yes.
How was it?
Yeah, it was all right. Pretty packed.
there was a
A
lot
lot of
holes.
boomers, a lot of Corvettes.
A lot of holes.
Anyway.
It was a glory
But
holes.
there were still some cool cars here and there.
Glory holes.
Yes, it was the glory hole.
Sorry, I'm Bruce Springsteen.
But
Or however he said that song.
so cars and bids might be in some trouble.
Well,
So obviously,
the collector car market, that 2000,
The COVID bubble. The COVID bubble.
2022 bubble has finally popped, and cars and bids had to lay
So
off.
cars and
lot of
bids,
people.
they got investment and or sold to
I forgot the name of the company, but yeah. It was
yeah,
like a
basically
30%
like investment,
stock, I think.
one of the
Private equity.
private equity. So, but they also they were selling a whole bunch of cars daily, and they were doing all the web content and doing everything else, and
The
they hired a
daily-
bunch of staff.
The daily auctions amount that, like, with the dealer, like, the auction fees, it was at 2022, it was about $45,000 a day.
In buyer's fees,
And now
And listings.
we are at
17-something thousand a day. They've like over
That's
like
bad.
it's
It's
Yeah.
very bad.
There's been a retraction in their business model.
yeah. So, but yeah, they had to lay off a bunch of people.
yeah. It's not
And-
that the website is not getting the amount of traffic and all that. It's just clearly the collector car market. Cars that were selling for twice as much a couple of years ago. People like you can no longer buy a Rivian and then
Flip it
make
for profit.
$20,000 off of it on the used car
And
market.
I mean, yeah, like I said, and like,
Thanks, Mom.
hi, Mom. And so, but like, people that were flipping the C8 Corvettes,
Yep.
and
Where
yeah, a
they were
lot
getting
of
them for $80,000, flipping for $120,000.
like I
Same
said,
thing
people,
with the Cybertrucks. You would have they would get their pre-order in it, get it for $100,000. They were literally
Selling it for $140.
pick it up, not even put a mile on it, and we're getting $40,000
Yeah.
selling it.
because like I said, because order banks were backed up.
Yeah.
So these people already had them, and yeah.
It's kind of like anytime Porsche releases a new GT2 or GT3 or any GT-RS, any one of those,
Okay.
people will get the allocations for that.
Whether they
a
want
lot
it
of
or not.
a lot of people will get the allocations. They're not even waiting until they get the car.
And they're selling it.
They're selling the allocation.
They were doing that with the Broncos when the
Yeah.
Broncos
Yep.
first came out because it wasn't out, and then COVID hit and all that stuff. So it was fun to where they're like, "Hey, I have a pre-order for a Bronco. I paid $5,000 for this pre-order. Do you want it? $20,000. I don't even have the card. This is just a pre-order. Who knows when you get the card? Here you go. So to you, I'm making $15,000 just on the. I have a pre-order. I'm selling you the pre-order.
Small tangent on this discussion, by the way. I think I've seen the world record at this point for dealer adjustment, for market adjustment.
Oh, which car? I know which one you're talking about, too.
A
What the-
Hummer EV, 100% market
Markup?
adjustment.
So markup
$100,000 truck
markup.
with a
$200,000.
$100,000 markup on it.
The ones that the COVID markups that blew my mind the most. That
on the
literally
shitty cars?
no, not just the shitty cars, the shitty.
The Mirage.
There was a dealer out there putting $5,000 markups on goddamn Mirages.
What kind of soulless human is that?
Okay, here's the
That's
thing.
the cheapest car in America.
No, you read that wrong.
No,
We'll pay you an extra $5,000
If you
to
take
buy
it,
this car.
take
And
it
we'll
off
give
the
you a
lot.
TV.
No, they weren't throwing cash on the hood. They were demanding you throw the cash on the hood.
Wow.
So, my first thought of this
And
was
they might give you a handy. Who knows?
I read that first article that there was this dealer putting $5,000 ADMs on a goddamn Mirage. My first thought was, Mirage, Mitsubishi still sells cars here?
Right.
Yeah.
Wait, where's
Well,
the
that-
Mitsubishi dealership at?
It's where you get your TV, and they also sell some furniture too.
Aussie Hill Mitsubishi.
That's where Sabrina brought her first Mustang.
That's true.
Anyway, so cars and bids.
So yeah, Cars and
It's
Bins is
going
in trouble. They had to lay off a bunch of people. Their daily sales numbers are down. So I don't know. And I guess nobody's really sure if Doug sold Cars and Bids to,
No, he did not.
or
It was-
just got the investment
he got
or
an
whatever.
investment. From my understanding, I think it was like a 30% investment.
Yeah, but I mean,
it wasn't a high percent. Like it wasn't like all of the company or half the company. It's less
Yeah.
than half the company.
So not a controlling interest.
it's not a
yeah.
controlling interest.
No.
But like I said,
It was what it needed to
at the
get
time,
to the level that Bring a Trailer was.
Right.
it's still not to bring a trailer level.
Yeah, but it's also one of those that has more of the quirks and features.
Yeah, but I mean, but even so, like even recently, like the past, I'd say year of doing like looking on Cars and Bids for the various cars, I'm seeing way more just mundane cars on there than I did a year before
Yeah,
that. Like
yeah.
it was always more. It was like what Bring a Trailer used to be as far as the quirky, kind of weird, interesting stuff, the less expensive stuff, and it's gotten. Not quite Bring a Trailer level, but it's gotten to be more, lot more dealers selling cars on there, and just a lot more just normal-ish cars and things like
You made
that.
the new Auto Trader. Congratulations.
That's a good
I'm
way to
still
put
not
it.
mad at that though, because man, the new Auto Trader's in. You see
That's
what this
I'm
Hemi's
fine
going
with
for?
that because I don't know if you've ever actually used Auto
Yes.
Trader to try and look for a car.
Yes.
It sucks.
Their
So-
website, like
Well,
I
not
know
now.
what their
Wait,
website.
are they still? Is the website still on?
Yeah. Oh, Auto Trader still exists
Yeah.
as a website.
And Auto
I
Trader
have
Classic.
Here's what it
Auto
is,
Trader
is-
since buying the Cobra. I bought the Cobra off of
Right.
Auto Trader.
The thing with it is that I'm pretty sure what they run all of their servers on is like
A
that
potato.
high school potato with an electrode stuck into it thing. Yeah, that's what powers their servers. 'Cause-
With a sticker on the side that says Apple IIe.
right, because their servers are always slow. It's a sluggish website. It's all and their the way they sort stuff is just terrible.
And on that disappointment,
Disappointment is the perfect word for that.
it's
Yeah.
time to end, and we'll be back in 2 weeks, and you'll probably get some content from us covering the races tomorrow.
Yes.
Yes.
See you
'cause,
guys later.
We're gonna have fun.
We're gonna have a lot of fun.
Thank you, Mike, for coming over.
Thank you,
guys
Mike.
for watching.
you.
Mike, I
Always a
appreciate
pleasure
you
hanging
being
out with you
on.
guys.
Oh,
Look
man.
for us
Thank
in
you.
2
I love
weeks,
having you
gentlemen,
over.
and have a great night.